What's up? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. What the frick is going on, people? So, here we go. It's time to kick things off, get things in gear. First of all, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Love you. Now, let's get to the frickin' point, would you? The point is that you're missing it, right? I've been talking to quite a few people over the last couple days, trying to pick one for the Mind Matrix method and figure this out, right? And here's what I'm realizing is that nobody understands the point. Nobody's hitting it. Nobody's got the thing figured out. Here's the thing is that you've got to be clear, right? Just like I'm give you an example of like archery, right? Where I love archery, right? If I'm knocking out some arrows down the range or going out hunting or doing whatever, right? And I'm not clear about my objective, if I'm not clear where I'm aiming, if I'm not clear what I'm doing, nothing is going to get done except I'm going to shoot some arrows, right? If I'm in the gym and I'm meandering around just picking random crap out of the air to do, yeah, I'll get some work done, but nothing's going to get done, right? So you're fucking missing the point. You're not clear. You don't have clarity about what you want and where you're going, right? You don't know what you're missing, right? So here's the problem in our society is that there's so many shiny things going on, right? There's so many distractions. There's so many ways to go create a life that we think we need to chase them all down, right? And I'm guilty just like everybody else. I've been there. I've done that, right? The next shiny thing that comes along, there I am, right? I'm chasing that down. I'm going over here. I'm doing this. Oh, that sounds cool. I'm not clear. You've got to be clear about what you're doing right now, right? Now, here's a distinction for you, right? You can have an objective that's bigger and longer range than, let's say, today or 90 days, right? You can have a 3-year objective or a 5-year objective, right? And it's okay for that to shift and that to change as you go through. Because a lot of times what happens is that when you're clear about that objective or that 90-day target and you get out of the blocks, you're going to find that sometimes you have to shift course a little bit. Sometimes you have to zig and zag. Sometimes you've got to go to war. Sometimes you've got to kind of overhaul what you thought you were going to market with or what you thought you were going to do with your family or whatever. Right? So those things are going to change, but each morning, you've got to wake up and be clear about what you're doing right now. You've got to know why you're doing it. Yes, the 3-year objective might change, and that's fine, right? But you've got to be clear, and you've got to follow through with shit, right? One of the biggest things that happens, and again, I'll raise my hand, I've been guilty about it, follow through, right? Because if you're not following through and at least seeing something through to a certain point, when you have clarity whether that's the direction to go or not, right? But if you get distracted before then, and you get off running and you're about 100 meters into the thing and all of a sudden you're like, oh, look over there, I'm going to go over there. You're never going to get to the destination. You're never going to get to the target. So yeah, you can shift and yeah, you can pivot and you can do different things, but you've got to take something to a point where you actually know that that's not the direction to go. I see a lot of people doing this. I see a lot of people out of the blocks, 100 meters, 200 meters into the thing, and then they shift courses. They go a different direction, right? They do something other than what they intended to do. And nowhere even close to what they were expecting to do. So without clarity for right now and a purpose for later down the road, right? You're lost. You're just wandering in the woods. You're shooting arrows in the dark. Whatever you want to call it. So today I'm going to really encourage you to get clear about what it is you want for you. Not what you want for the world, not what you want for the society around you, not what you want for your town, none of that. What you want for you right now. If I was to come to talk to you in 2 years, what do you want your life to be? What was the mechanism that got you to that point? Then you can start working backwards from that, right? And then you can shift and pivot as you need to But when you're just running in the dark, you're going to hit some trees, and it's not a fun experience. When you're clear and you have clarity about purpose and action and mission, then a whole bunch of shit's going to get done for you. All right, guys. So in your body, in your being, in your balance, in your business, right? So in your body, that's easy. In your business, that's easy. In your being, that's your spiritual connection, that's your meditation, that's whatever you do to slow down and connect with whatever source it is for you. In your balance, that's your relationships, your family, your marriage, your kids, your coworkers, your friends. In those things, where are you missing clarity? Where are you just shooting arrows in the dark, right? Because if you're shooting arrows in the dark in your relationships, you're not going to have them for long. You've got to be clear about what you're doing, right? You've got to be clear about what your spouse and you are engaged in, what the mission is, where you're heading. You've got to be clear about your objective with your kids and what you want to accomplish there. You've got to be clear. So I encourage you guys, again, to get clear. Figure out where you're just running in the dark, where you're just shooting arrows without any point. And then figure out that clarity. Figure out what you really want in that. And then start taking action. All right, guys, I love you. I appreciate you. I will see you tomorrow. And we'll keep diving in. Love you guys. Peace out.